Hi everybody, Paul Lindsay here. Welcome to another edition of Under the Radar for Racer X Films, a segment where I try to bring you something you might not have seen if you weren't here. The name, we came up with it collectively. It's the best we've got. Go easy on us. It's supposed to be fun. It's not a privateer showcase. It's just some stuff that I saw that I thought you would find interesting. So let's get into the 250 class. As always here at Millville, one of the gnarliest tracks on the circuit. A lot of attrition, really rough and really hot as usual. Here's what went down in the 250 class here at Millville. Okay, here we go. We always talk about how amazing all these tracks are on the Lucas Oil AMA Nationals, but this one in particular really separates people, and I've never seen the amount of attrition at a track as I see here at Millville. Perfect example of that, up first, Hunter Clements, a guy that needs to be there in the end, wants to be there in the end. With 4 laps to go, he wasn't even in the points. Holds on, pushes hard, all the way to a 17th, his best moto finish ever, a hard-earned 4 points for the privateer, Hunter Clements. As you all know, I'm a sucker for solid come-from-behind rides, and Malcolm Stewart blew my mind today in the first moto. Those of you who think he doesn't take his racing seriously, Malcolm goes down on the start, way behind. First moto, pushed and pushed and pushed, comes back to an amazing 11th place in the first moto. Second moto ran as high as 8th until about 5 laps to go. We're not sure what happened to Malcolm there at the end of the moto. Winds up with a DNF. Could have been his best overall finish on the day. A great first moto nonetheless. Up next, welcome back Rockstar Suzuki Jason Anderson. Whispers of him being criticized for being out of shape. He comes back today and proves otherwise with a solid 14-11 for 10th overall. Welcome back, Jason Anderson. And last but not least, my standout performance of the day in the 250 class, the hometown boy, Alex Martin. Yes, you've heard me talk about him on here before. And when I say hometown race, that's as in his dad owns the track. I think if anybody knows about attrition on this track, it's Alex Martin. First moto, he started well outside the top 20 and charged to an amazing 7th. Hanging in there in the end, guys are dropping like flies. Backs it up in the second moto with an even better 5th place. Best race ever for Alex Martin, 7.5 for 5th overall, and a hard-earned 30 points for the hardworking privateer from right here in Millville, Minnesota. Okay, up first in the 450 class, you've seen him on this segment as well before, Justin Brayton. Goes down on the start, charges back, sort of a hometown race from Fort Dodge, Iowa for Brayton. Comes all the way back to 12th place in the first moto, then backs it up with a solid 7th in the second moto for 9th overall. I know JB wanted more at the hometown race, but not bad for his 3rd race back. Up next, the other old guy, sorry Dowdy, 46 years old, John Dowd, wants to keep that national number 16 just like we saw Mike Brown do a few weeks ago, needs 25 points this year, keep that in mind. Rode an incredible race, loves Millville, only 3 points on the day for Dowdy, legend of the sport. I expect to see a lot more when we get to Southwick from John Dowd. Quite the international field in the 450 class this year, just like the Swedish duo finding success here in America. From Russia with love, it's Evgeny Mikhailov. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. We don't have any footage of him, but he rode to a hard-earned 19.20 for his first points in America. 3 points on the day for Evgeny. And speaking of international, Australia was in the house here at Millville. Dean Porter ran inside the top 20 in both motos. Unfortunately faded to a 21-21, no points on the day. He did pick up 3 points earlier in the year in Texas. Had Dean been able to stay inside the top 20, it would have given Australia an amazing 5 riders in the top 20 here at Millville. 5 fast Australians. When you add in Reed, Metcalf, Simmons, and Byrne, there are some fast boys out there. And speaking of fast, Ty Simmons is my standout performer of the day in the 450 class. The 942 JDR J-Star KTM with his best ride of the year by far. Charges all the way up to a 9th in the first moto, backs it up with a 12th in the second moto. 12th overall for Ty Simmons. An amazing ride here at Millville. That's going to do it from here at Millville. As you can see, the pits are closing up. I'm hot, I'm tired. Millville, always a true test of man and machine. Next week, we're at Washougal for a different kind of test. Less attrition, faster pace, closer racing. We'll see you next week. I'm Paul Lindsay for Racer X Films.